Greetings, my fellow Narcadians, as I, Talsar Gelvin, Master of the Narcadian Order, and we're here for Talsar Plays Hardspace Shipbreakers. Now, I have already been playing this game, I'm not gonna lie. But I've been playing it with my keyboard, but I thought, let's start with doing it with a controller. Maybe it would be a little bit easier to do. So I'm going to... Come on, hold Y. Okay, no, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Stop doing that, please. I don't think it has my controllers up properly here. Hold F, okay. Alright. Humankind has industrialized much of the solar system. Oh. Yeah, so I guess we're just skipping that. Sorry. This is very dystopian. Earth is basically is now a slum for you know, better or for worse. Alright. Talsar, account name is already used. Oh, is it now? Okay. So let's do this. Greg. This is Greg. Let's pick my voice. Usually I go with that one usually. Orientation preference, that's fine. Controls, it doesn't seem to handle plastics free, vegetarian, entomotarian. I have no idea what the fuck that means. Let's go with it. Not really matters. Now, this is where you start seeing how fucked up this game is. I have no criminal record in the Terran or Martian zones. A record in Jovian frontier is acceptable. Okay. Seems I'm having to double tap the A in order for it to do anything. I don't know why. I am not a member of, or have never been associated with, a workers' union or labor interest. Yeah, unions don't exist apparently anymore. However you may feel personally about how unions work. I have completed my annual medical exam and have been cleared of having Macaulay's lung. I'm probably butchering that, but whatever. I have no idea what Macaulay's lung is. I have no commercial or real estate interest in Luna, the asteroid belt, or in the nation-state of Arizona. Who knew Arizona was a seed? I'll bring a positive attitude and problem-solving mindset to work every day. I understand, except the health risks associated with long-term exposure to Van der Waals field. I don't... What health risks? You're kind of throwing this at me without explaining what they are. I will vote for Chancellor Chung Zhang in the Pan-American Senate election. Now, that ordinarily would be completely illegal. Okay, what the fuck? Oh yeah, next. Alright. This agreement is made as of the 8th of November 2329 between the Lynx Corporation, Development of Salvage and Reclamation, incorporated under the laws of the Solar Industries Commission. Employee hereby grants permission for Lynx to the authority to collect, analyze, and utilize their biometric data for use to better the lives and well-being of them, their co-workers, as well for any other purpose. Employee hereby grants permission to Lynx the authority to perform psychological tests on them at any time, with or without their knowledge. An employee is not entitled to compensation for participation in these tests, but may receive additional sugar cube rations. Oh, goody! Employee hereby grants permission to Lynx the authority to garnish their wages if their actions, or lack thereof, result in any real or potential losses to the company and or any of its affiliates. That basically that means they have just blanket permission to just ass rape you. Employee hereby grants permission to Lynx the authority in perpetuity to record and own their DNA and to create new entities with that DNA, with no restrictions or limits. Furthermore, an employee agrees to pay a nominal fee for this service in the event of their death while performing the duties of their position. Lynx may execute these entities at any time for acts of gross negligence. I'm starting to get some paranoia vibes here. Employee hereby grants permission to Lynx the authority to study, manipulate, reciprocate, and duplicate any and all of my gray and or white matter at any time with the unfortunate event of my total and complete loss of memory. Employee hereby grants permission to Lynx the authority to transfer any and all unpaid debts owed to Lynx and any and all of its affiliates to their next of kin, in the event that they are terminated, disappear, and or perma-perish. Lynx reserves the right to terminate this contract any time without notice or payment in lieu, with no requirements for sufficient cause. Now, you might be wondering, who in their right mind would ever agree to such terms as this? Words fail me to try and accurately describe the total ass-fuckery of this. Well, that's because Earth is basically a gigantic slum. Think how the world in Ready Player One is presented, but without the advent of VR. I'm going to go with the training. It's clearly because if I'm using a controller, I need to relearn all the controls over again. However, if I find the controller isn't working properly, I'm going to go back to mouse and keyboard. Now, I don't know why I just held up the controller, because I don't have my camera on, so you can't see it. It's just a habit. Now, the music in this game is actually very well done. I like the music a lot.
Each day he steps into the yard to earn his wages working hard. I pray to the stars and heaven above to return my daddy to those he loves. If there comes a time when he and death meet, bless the next cutter that takes his seat.
Bit of an interesting twist on the Lord's Prayer. One other thing I will say about this game and how well it replicates physics. Now, I have not been able to do that because the tethers they're very elastic, and they just bounce and stretch all over the place, causing a bunch of, issues with motion. They are.
Cutter 9346-52. Your automated Lynx onboarding experience will now begin. Please observe this important message.
Space, boundless promise, limitless resources, a brighter future. It's here that hard workers like you, the backbone of civilization, will help us pave the way to the galaxy. I'm Calicia Rai Paulson, president of Lynx Corporation Salvage Division. When my great-great-grandfather, Exeter, founded Lynx, he foresaw a remarkable opportunity among the stars. His vision eventually brought us the rail gates. Now spanning all the way
Basically,
to
the
Jupiter,
knockoff Mass
these
Effect
are
relays.
the veins connecting all of modern civilization. And the people flowing through them are its lifeblood. The rail gates reinvigorated humanity.
Well,
And
that guy
are
looks like he's
key
fucked.
to our continued progress. You have been selected from among thousands of candidates to join the Lynx family. This is more than just a job. It's an opportunity to be part of the largest, most successful, and most pioneering company in human history. Your dream may be to forge your own destiny.
These guys kind of make Wayland Yutani look nice.
Work hard, heed your superiors, believe in the Lynx vision. Do this, and you too.
And that's
will get
saying a lot.
Your first step is to join our EverWork program. The greatest gift we give our employees, turning death into an ongoing opportunity for learning and growth. With Lynx, death is a fresh start. Good luck.
Death is a fresh start. Yes, I want a fresh start. Press to begin genetic extraction. Okay.
Video observation complete. To finalize onboarding, your genetic sequence will now be extracted for use with the Lynx EverWork Asset Replacement Program. Don't worry, pain levels during extraction are largely tolerable.
How did you calibrate that?
As outlined in Section 31 of your employment agreement, the process of genetic extraction will destroy your
No, wait.
original-
I didn't remember reading that part. Where is that at? Hold on. Where am I? I don't feel so good. Can we talk? I think we need.
Analysis and backup complete. Thank you. Beginning
Network asset replacement successful. Genetic sequence stored. Congratulations, is now safe to die. Shipbreakers are responsible for the cost of biomaterials used for our work process in addition to fee required for death that occurs outside working hours. You may proceed to salvage training. Loading fees report. Now this is where they really rape you. They hire me and I owe them a grand total of $1.25 billion. And they even charge you for the fee. And they even charge you a fee for creating the report. Isn't that nice of them? There was this thing back around the turn of the century where mine owners would have a company store and they would pay their employees with company money that was only good in those stores. The problem was that the conversion rate between that money and real money was abysmally low. If you've ever heard the phrase working for the company dollar, that's where that phrase comes from. I believe there's songs around this, and this was a very exploitative, especially for our minorities, because this is around the time period just after the Civil War. So for African Americans, this was very exploitative. A lot of them went west to work on the rails. A lot of them ended up in the mines, but eventually that was outlawed, and rightfully so. But this is a similar methodology here, where they keep you in massive debt and you're working to pay it off.
There you go. Plenty of folks feel a bit woozy with their first fare. Anyway, welcome aboard. The name's Weaver. I'm the foreman for yourself and a couple of the other shipbreakers in this region. This here's Morgan Station.
No, there's.
She may not look
Why
like
isn't?
much,
I don't know why this thing does not like a gamepad.
She'll purr like a kitten. Alright.
Like there's a delay between input and whatnot before it starts reading anything. I don't know why.
And look up at that cargo elevator up above. That's it. So that's where all the salvage gets collected to be picked up by the transfer crew.
Come on.
Just in case you ever turn yourself out of whack.
I'm gonna access the options here real fast and see if I can figure out what's going on with this control. No, enable as RT keyboard. I don't know what the hell that is. Controller sensitivity, mouse sensitivity, roll sensitivity. The video is pretty much standard here. Customization. Yeah, there's I don't know why there is an odd delay here in response to me not selecting things. I just was using this controller to play AM2R. So if this is not going to work, I'll just go back to mouse and keyboard, which I really don't want to do. I was waiting to try and do this with a controller. Okay. Okay. Press down like that. Press down like that. Okay.
Alright. Now let's get you flying. Activating your thruster controls now. Try moving around.
Alright, press 4 for 1 second. I'm trying. Yeah, this controller just I don't know if it's a problem with the game now. Mind you, this game is in early access, and even though there is a story, I'm going to do my keyboard right now. I got a feeling that maybe it's not quite set up for gamepad optimization quite yet, which is a shame. Send, but I pretty much have all the keyboard controls figured out here.
Checks, I need you to fly to these waypoints.
Now, like I said, there is a story, but they only have one act of it done, and they're continuing to work on it. But even for as it is, there is still a solid gameplay here.
Complications with my last revive. Those were early days in the tech, though, so never you mind about that. Oh, almost forgot about the most important thing. Brakes. Get yourself
it is important to know how to stop yourself when you're in space.
Alright, looks like the bay here was left in a bit of a mess. We're gonna clean this scrap up. Gonna activate the furnaces now. Dang thing. Would you just... There you go. So these furnaces are used to melt down soft metals. Should go without saying that these things are as hot as all get out. So try not to drift into them by accident.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get a handle on your grapple tool. This fella here is a shipbreaker's bread and butter. This is how we move salvage around. Activate the beam and hold it to grab an object and move it around. If it's not too heavy, give it a go and move one of these pieces into either furnace. So when you're holding an object with the grapple, you can retract the beam. This will pull a light object to you. If it's heavier than you, it'll pull you towards it.
Wait a minute, it's telling me it has to go into the processor. There's a cut point here. Do I have access to... No, I don't have access to the cutting tool yet, so... Salvage aluminum. Oh, I was working on the wrong piece. Silly me.
Nice job cleaning up all that soft metal scrap, Cutter. Let's move on to the bigger nanocarbon chunks now, shall we? You may have already noticed that these are too heavy to move with your grapple. I'm enabling your scanner so we can check out their structural makeup. Go ahead and boot it up.
Alright, well, I'm gonna ignore that for right now.
This mode of your scanner lets you assess an object's structure. What I want you to focus on right now are these cut points. Alright, Control is giving me the go-ahead to get you cutting. You have quick access to all your tools through your HUD. Just open up the tool selector and choose the cutting tool. Your cutting tool has two modes. The first one is the stinger. It's designed for precision vaporization of cut points like this. You ready to perform some zero-G surgery, Cutter? Well, let's split this scrap so it's light enough to move. That's how you do it. Okay, let me boot up the processor so you can salvage these. Do me a favor and look towards one of them there so I can see if they activate right. Yeah, perfect. Wish me luck here, Cutter. Me and technology ain't always the best of friends. Hey, alright, we're in business. Now swap over to your grapple and toss one of them pieces you separated right in there.
Alright, let's whip it around. And push it in. That's how it's done. Eventually, once it reaches a certain point, it'll get pulled in. And you need to be careful. If you pass that threshold, good luck getting back out. I've done it once.
Let's go after that large aluminum chunk over there. Now this beast is way too heavy to move as is.
I've
It's
noticed.
also too dense for your stinger to break it down, and there are no structural cut points for us to take advantage of. We're gonna have to switch over to the split saw mode of your cutting tool and start slicing this thing down to size. Go ahead and switch cut modes now.
Now here's where I mentioned earlier about physics here. Now, light or laser beams like this
We're
are
in business. I've unlocked the trigger
condensed,
on your cutting tool.
basically
It'll split that
a
big
beam of
chunk
photons,
plate
right?
in
So
two.
it has mass, right?
I'm going to turn on your salvage indicator so you can track how much work is left to do.
So watch what happens when I fire this.
How much you salvaged and
I
how
get
much
pushed
you
back.
lost. For now, let's try and hit
That's
that
pretty
first
realistic
goal
with
marker.
how this would
And
ordinarily
that's what
would
it's
work
all about,
if these
Cutter. The
were
more
real
salvage goals
circumstances.
you complete, the closer you'll get to hitting your certifications and ranking up.
Just keep pushing it so it can build up some momentum. Even though we're in zero gravity at this point, there's still... It will only move so far. It won't move indefinitely.
Great first shift in the yard, Cutter. Let's head on over to your hab, and I'll show you the ropes there. Now fly on over back to the master jack. I'll put a marker on it so you can find it easy. When you get there,
Now here's
head
a-
on in.
Now here's a neat little trick for trying to get around more
Great
quickly.
first shift in the
Assuming
yard,
they'll let me
Cutter.
do it here.
Let's head on over to your hab, and I'll show you the ropes
Alright, there we go. I can pull myself
Now fly on
in.
over back to the master jack. I'll put a marker on it.
Oops, brakes, brakes!
When you get there,
Hit the wrong
head
thing.
on in, and we'll get started.
Okay, that's not. Come on here. Turn around like that. Yeah, you gotta be careful because you will quickly lose control. Alright, so we earned a little bit of money here. Which unfortunately will not make a dent
You're already
in
on
our
your way
debt.
up. Head on into your hab and we'll check things out. Welcome to your new home, Cutter. has everything you need. This is officially called a ready-made long-term employee habitation something or other. But around here, we just call it your hab. Okay, let's have a look at your employee terminal. Now let's get caught up on career progression and certification. I've sent you a message with an explanation now. Go on and give it a read. Clear as mud?
Around here,
I'm here to walk you through the process, and soon enough I'm going to introduce you to some of the other shipbreakers. Most of them are willing to help you out too.
employee financial relief program.
All right,
Yep.
let's start a new shift.
Everything
and
important
pick
and
your
good in
first
this world
shift
comes with a
to
price.
work on.
Each privileged person who joins our family to become a shipbreaker comes with significant costs. Unfortunately, Lynx shoulders the burden of these costs temporarily. In order to let you hit the ground running and begin training stress-free, this cost sharing is handled through our innovative employee financial relief program. This program covers all essential onboard costs and fees, including the cost of training and equipment borrowed from Lynx Salvage. Yes, you will. This is something else they will charge you for, is your own damn equipment. They charge you a rent fee for the equipment that you will also have to maintain through repairing it as it degrades, which... what am I paying the rent fee for? Anyway, we'll deal with that when we get there. Also included is the fees for the EverWork Asset Replacement Program trademark. This enables safe, unlimited career progression and growth through the power of Lynx technology. In return, as your skills and expertise grow, all the value that you earn as a shipbreaker will be automatically deducted from the amount you owe to the financial relief program. This ensures that the borrowed amount is paid off as quickly as possible, so you get on with building yourself a brighter future. Now, the point of relief is that you don't owe anything. Let's knock out another ship.
This is the catalog that shows you which ships you have access to from the shipyard. Every day, you can choose to continue working on the ship you've got, or start afresh.
So let's grab
Go ahead and pick one.
this one, since it's worth the most amount of money.
She's all yours, Cutter. Your primary
Now,
goal.
currently, since I'm still in the tutorial stage,
Now, try to remember,
they're not going to charge me
goes in the
for
process
things like
of
oxygen
aluminum goes in the furnace.
and I'm not limited on
Salvage
time.
The entire ship if you can. We call it using the whole buffalo. You'll hit your certs faster that way.
Alright, so
And start knocking out that debt of yours. I'll be observing and...
there's a few ways of trying to gain entry into a ship like this. Of course, going through the airlock. I'm trying to look at that right now. Usually it's on the left-hand side. Yeah, there it is right there. There's the airlock. Another way in is through the aft. That's odd. That looks like it didn't load right. Through the thruster. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pull this out by hitting these hard points right here. It's a good thing to start off with. Now, I can crawl in there right now, but that big brace is in my way. In order for me to try and clear that out, I'm going to have to remove the hull panels. Let's go ahead and get inside. Now this one has had the airlock removed, so I have access to the inner and outer walls. So I'm in between the walls here. So let's go ahead and let's start burning up these connection points. Gotta be mindful that I don't overheat my cutting laser, otherwise it'll if I was when I'm outside of the tutorial. As a matter of fact, that's probably a good place to go and do that now, is to show you what happens when it overheats.
Cutting tool overload detected.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of combusts. Little bolt right there. Don't worry about little things like that. You can't do anything with them. It's just random junk and debris from inside the ship, and more of that will be generated as you tear the ship apart. You can't grab it with your beam, and it doesn't count for or against your salvage. Okay, so all these hard points have now been severed.
Now, I know these ships look intimidating to scrap at first, but trust me.
Let's go and push this panel out here.
Stripping the huge Gecko-class freighters like they're nothing. Got my start salvaging back down Earthside in the droid scrapping business. You know what made me come up here? Well, one day we got a batch of this particular model in. One of them kinds with synthetic skin and everything. We almost never saw people looking ones like that. They were always too expensive to manufacture. Seems someone found a warehouse full of them, mothballed for, 20 years or so, since the AI ban took effect. Probably bought the whole lot for pennies, thinking they could turn a tidy profit with the salvage. No word of a lie. These things looked exactly like my stepbrother did. Even had the same slack-jawed expression.
That's kind of
Jed and I
creepy.
wasn't exactly pals or nothing. All the same, I couldn't bring myself to start smashing that dopey face.
Really?
And that's when I looked into getting on with Lynx. Tell you what, it's a sight better to cut up something that doesn't look like a family relation. Anyway, I'm running on. I'll clear the channel. Holler if there's anything giving you grief up there, Cutter. Weaver out.
Alright, so we got the side hull panels off. Let's go inside and work on the ventral and dorsal panels. I'm not going to sever these yet. These connect the cockpit to the rest of the main body. And the cockpit can be tricky. I'll show you what I'm talking about when we get there. Is that a pick? Yeah, it's a pickup. It's odd. I haven't seen one of those this early before. Or any of those coming in later. Alright, so... Alright, now let's go and grab the grappler, grab this panel, and throw it in the processor.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded. Salvage gained. Rewards increasing.
As you, for each one of those tick marks you see up there, you earn more, basically, upgrade points, links points, that you use for upgrading your equipment, which comes a little bit later. Alright, those should be good to go.
Object accepted for processing.
Let's go and pull this. Okay, so when you see though how the crosshair spreads out like that, that means it can be grabbed and pulled. Alright, so... Okay, no, I don't want to cut that just yet. Just ride it out. Haha.
Processing valuable objects.
Alright, let's grab this cross brace back here. So you might be asking, well, what happens if you throw the wrong part into the wrong bay? Well, then you lose money that way. Alright, now,
Valuable object processed.
before I work on the aft section, let's go and tear off these side hull panels over here. Get my cutter back out. Now, as you start removing mass from the ship, it will begin to move around you more easily. That's another thing. There's nothing holding this in place, so you have to be mindful of that. It can work against you. Line this up a little bit, and there we go. No, that's the wrong one.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Come on. Okay.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited. Salvage gain. Credits awarded.
Alright, that should be good. Now let's take the aft off here. Now you can use your hands to move around, to grab a hold of the various ship parts here and move yourself around if need be, which can be often handy in tight spaces. And if you ever run into an unfortunate situation where you're running out of fuel for your boosters, you can try and use these. I don't know what these things are called. They were mentioned at some point during the gameplay. But you try and like push yourself off that back to the half. I have not run into a situation where I've run out of fuel. You're more likely to run out of oxygen because that gets used up a far faster rate than your fuel will. I'll say like a factor of 3 or 4. Alright, let's see if we can't get this mass moving in the right direction here. Alright, there we go. That should be sufficient. Yeah, I guess you are getting pulled in now. Now, comes the tricky part. It took me a while to figure out a good way of removing these panels. I tried using the saw beam initially to just cut into pieces, but then I realized that these connecting beams right here in the middle can be destroyed without affecting your profits.
Credits applied to cutter account.
I guess actually no, it does affect my. I guess it does, but it's It depends, really, but it's such a low amount that I don't think it really gonna matter. Yeah, that didn't seem to cause it to go up. Alright. Yeah. Because honestly, I think you will lose more material using the saw beam than you would doing it this way. Because the saw beam creates this huge rent in the material. But I think this is far more efficient. Alright, I'm gonna leave that as is, I think. I need to separate this rear section from that bulkhead. No, I'm out of range. Now, some people would probably find this quite disorienting and probably vomit-inducing if you're very prone to motion sickness. Playing an ordinary first-person shooter would not be so nausea-inducing as moving around and drifting in three-dimensional space like this. Let's see here. Now you can see that red bar has moved up a little bit, but not by much. As long as I hit that third hash mark, that's where I want to be. Let me grab this and throw this in the furnace.
Raw material process. Credits deposited.
Well, actually, I've already hit the third mark, so... I mean, at this point, all I'm doing is cutting the rest of this up to earn the most amount of money as possible to pay off my debt. Now, I'm see if any of these will move yet. No. That moved. Alright. Come on. Come on. Let's get you where you're supposed to be here. Yeah, that kind of blew up the pieces there. Alright, let's see what else we got to work with here. Alright, that one.
Material deposited.
Now, you can tell what can be moved and what can't, because you can see that yellow outline around everything. That means my grapple beam is not powerful enough to move it. However, you can see that it has shifted position. Alright, there's another... Okay, I see what's going on here. There's this connecting beam right here. I need to sever. There we go. Now it's moving freely. Oh, wrong. Okay. grapple beam has a pretty good reach on it.
Deposit accepted.
Alright, now let's cut these connection points here off, and I'll send these panels into the furnace to be recycled. This is the kind of game where you can lose yourself in and quickly lose track of time. Alright, let's grab this panel and throw it. There's just something kind of... I don't know the right way to really put it into words. Not really relaxing, kind of cathartic, I suppose, in a way. Where you're tearing something apart. Like this. And you definitely focus in on the work quite heavily because you're trying to find the best way to go about tearing this apart. Now, the cockpit. This is where things get tricky. Because there are no connection points connecting the interior to the exterior hull plates. We also have the glass canopy. Now, the only way to really deal with this glass canopy is to use the cut beam on it, like this, and just cut it out as best as possible. Alright, it's not, and do that, and now it should be, yeah, it's free floating. You can see how thick that glass is. It weighs 77 kilograms. Being an American, I don't really have a good frame of reference for that. So now comes the tricky part. How do I go about separating the aluminum panels from the nanocarbon exterior? When you pull up the scanner here, you can see there are no cut points. Now, what I could try and do, unfortunately, these blue sections you can see right here and here are behind the wall. Let's see if I can't get access to that stuff from out here. And of course, from this side, I can't get access to it because we have all of this structure, this superstructure here, covering it. So, usually with these, I end up with quite a bit of loss because there's just no real good way of cutting this to pieces. So, what I usually end up doing here is, since I have this handy little rectangle here to work with as a outline, I'll grab my cutting saw and use that as a guide to cut this panel out. You can see how thick that line is. Alright, so that panel's come loose. Let's see if I can't pull through that door. Yeah. Okay, this frame has come loose. Let's go ahead and throw that into the furnace. Yeah, so I can move the whole cockpit around, but there's no way for me to actually separate the, like I said, the outer hull from the inner. Just gotta do the best you can, really. Alright, now let's see here. Now that I got access to the inside, Alright, so that's behind the ceiling. Yeah, there we go. Right there. Can I cut that from here? No. No. I'm either heating up that panel or I'm heating up that panel, so I can't do that. No? Alright. Let's go around to the other side. Okay, that's pretty good.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited.
Come on. Huh. It's an odd texture. Alright. Now, can any of this be moved? No, still connected. Alright, I had to get it to stop moving. Now, turn my scanner on. Okay, that pound just came loose. That's good. Alright.
Deposit accepted.
I think I'm actually doing a pretty good job here. I think I just found a good methodology for doing this. Usually I just kind of say fuck it and... Come on. Damn it, you're going the wrong way! Son of a bitch. Oh, I'm getting too close to one of these processors on this side. Alright, that should be sufficient. Now,
Material deposited.
I think the rest of this is just nanocarbon that can go. Yes. Get behind it so I can push it. Just watch that fly in.
Valuable object processed.
It has some loss on that. I'm not sure. Probably the rest of that glass, if I had to guess. That was stuck in the frame. But, there we go. Alright, let's see what we had, what we lost here. Equipment mount destroyed. Aluminum panel destroyed. Structural aluminum destroyed. And glass. Made $800,000.
New certification level achieved. License upgraded.
Looking good, Cutter. Now go ahead and pick another ship.
Well, I'll do that next time. Thank you for watching Talsar Plays. See you next time.